Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Review Series. I'm here yet again with.
James the He-Man Hebert. Where's everybody else?
Oh, well, they're not coming because I don't think. Well, Chris can't come because he's not. I don't. He didn't watch the show and he needed a chance to watch the show. So, and
Oh,
I didn't ask anybody else. So
okay.
it's kind of. It would be too last minute right now too. Anyway, so um, we're
Fair
just gonna
enough then.
we're, we're just gonna keep this take the way it is because I don't even think that really affected the video.
Yeah, no, it
Um,
didn't.
But yeah, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I already introduced you. Um, which is because I usually introduce myself first, but this time I introduced you first. But
Oh well.
whatever. Um,
Potato, potato.
Today we're gonna review the WWF Royal Rumble 2001, which was your pick. I don't like the last episode because I don't think we did an episode last week. So
No,
um,
no, we didn't. Whatever 2 weeks ago was, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, a new thing I want to have is when someone picks a show, I would like to, because obviously they pick it for a reason. So I mentioned the reason I picked Royal Rumble 2007. Why did you pick this show? Was there a
The
reason?
yeah, the reason I picked the Royal Rumble 2001 was because it's my nostalgia. Because I watched this when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I watch it as an adult, and I love it still to this day because it's the best Rumble of all time.
I don't know about that, but because there was some issues I had with.
No, as far as the whole show, the whole package, this was the best Rumble card because
Oh yeah.
the Rumble itself, maybe, not maybe not the best because there's definitely been better Rumbles, but as far as the
Yeah.
whole card, I think this was the best Rumble of all time.
If you would have asked me though, I watched this Royal Rumble match like a couple years ago, and I also a lot of people talk highly of this Rumble, but I don't think the Rumble is as good as a lot of people say that it is. I think it has some problems with the Rumble. So, um, but there's one obviously major problem with the Rumble, which we'll get into that because I think you know what I'm going to talk about there. So, um,
Okay,
but yeah, I think the card overall is I I think a great card though. Um,
yeah, it's like one of the best cards of Rumble history.
So we'll just start off. Obviously, if you've ever watched the Retro Wrestling Review series, you'll know how we break this show down. But um, we just talk about the history of the match and why it's happening. Um, which obviously sometimes there might not be. That's what we could say though with this show. At least every match had a reason to be on the card. So um,
Yes.
some of it wasn't a good. One of the matches wasn't a good reason though. I think, um, but yeah. Well, let's start off with the Sunday Night Heat show that aired before this, which is pretty much the nowadays pre-show. And if you would
Yep.
ask me, I think this is better than the pre-show because they don't do this for like two. Because this year we're gonna have a 2 hour pre-show where they'll just like break down. Where they don't do this for like 2 hours. It's just a half. I think it's like a 45 minutes. Just talk about the matches and then show a match and then that's it. You're just out of here. Like this year, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be 2 hours of like talking about nothing.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Three matches that will probably be on the pre-show that probably shouldn't be on the pre-show. So I'm just saying, like, I would. The Sunday Night Heat was pretty much a better alternative of a pre-show because this is when
Yep.
they were still running with Sunday Night Heat was a very regular thing. It was
Yeah, it was
Sunday.
actually a good show, and even if it was a C show, it was actually good
Yeah.
because WWE actually cared about its fucking product back then. What
Yeah.
what what one of these things is not like the others. WWE nowadays.
And believe it or not, though, the hosts of the pre-show was Taz and Michael Cole. I make note of that because obviously this is very significant. I don't even think they knew this was good. They would have been like one of the best commentary teams later on, like in 2002. Was Taz's career winding down around this time? Because and
Yeah.
that because because obviously his Rumble appearance wasn't anything significant, and I'm guessing Taz did talk about on the show that he had like an 8 month neck injury that he recovered from. So I'm guessing like Taz's career of like in 2000. Because I don't remember him doing a lot in 2001. I think he just...
Yeah, after 2002, I think he just flat out retired.
So in a way, though, this was testing the waters of the Taz and Michael Cole pair-up. And obviously Michael Cole was very new to broadcasting at the time, because it's very interesting to watch Michael Cole like young at the time, and now he's pretty much, like the voice of WWE commentary-wise today. So very interesting to go back and watch them like at the starting stages with this dynamic. So I thought that was awesome.
And Cole can be a good commentator when Vince isn't in his fucking ear micromanaging shit.
Exactly. So obviously we just kind of mentioned what Taz, obviously would shortly be commentating afterwards, and then obviously he would commentate, SmackDown and then ECW and then back to SmackDown, and then go to TNA, commentate for TNA, and now he does his own radio show. And then Michael Cole, I just kind of said what he is. He would very shortly become like the voice, and he's pretty much the play-by-play guy just on Raw right now, but he's pretty much, the main commentator today. So,
Yep.
Also, I was surprised to see was Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross doing commentary, because I didn't realize Jerry the King Lawler had still, because obviously in 2001 he wasn't in the company very long because of backstage reasons. So I actually didn't know Lawler was on commentary for the show, actually. So that was interesting. And obviously the Lawler pretty much obviously would be like the mainstay commentator, obviously after that crappy invasion angle in 2001, and then Jim Ross pretty much would kind of be sporadic. Sometimes he would be like the main play-by-play guy, but obviously when he would have issues with guys in the company, he would not be there. And right now he's just a part-timer because he doesn't really need to be there every week. He's a legend enough where he doesn't need to be. He might be doing AEW, but I don't really know. So
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, it's really tough with the AEW news to take who's leaving to go there seriously. So
yeah, because everybody is fucking just buying into the hype. Like, by the way, and I said this on the wrestling review series, I'll say it again. Stop buying into the hype and stop making yourselves look like idiots, especially news sites. You're better than this. Fuck out of here.
So
anyway, next.
Then he had like interviews done with the wrestlers. We won't break down the stories, but Chris Benoit got interviewed saying that he's gonna absolutely destroy Chris Jericho and retain his Intercontinental Championship. Edge and Christian came out and did a funny promo, because this is when they were like, had just turned heel and stuff, and were doing the whole awesomeness gimmick, which I thought was awesome. And talked about how they're the best tag team, and made fun of the Dudleys. And anytime they would reference, the Dudleys, they would show the thing on the Titantron of like the Mercury, little people pretending to be the Dudleys and stuff. I thought that was a riot. They were awesome. This was like Edge and Christian, like at their best as a tag team. So And then you had fans giving predictions about who they thought was going to win the Royal Rumble. Obviously, the biggest ones that they said was like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker. Rikishi was said, and then Billy Gunn was randomly said, which that was random. So
yeah, that had to have been a plant. That had to have been a plant.
I think Rikishi was a plant too. So, Then the worst theme song ever, The Right to Censor, plays. Obviously, this gimmick, I hate it. I don't understand why, this faction. Maybe it was great in the Attitude Era, but I just think it sucks. They didn't get good heat. They got go away heat, so they sucked. Who was in this faction? You had Bull Buchanan, the Good Father.
Buchanan, the Good Father, fucking Val Venus. I don't even remember what his name was in that.
Yeah. I think it
was Chief Morley, I think.
Okay. I think they called him Val Venus on the show, from what I remember, but
they changed his name to Chief Morley as time went on. And then Ivory.
Well, Steven Richards too.
Yeah.
And pretty much They said they're gonna win the Royal Rumble for us because they want to censor the WWE.
Well, shut the fuck up.
Ironically enough, I guess it worked because they pretty much have censored the WWE. Just didn't do it the way they wanted to do it. So I don't know. But this just was like this gimmick sucked. It took the Godfather and Val Venus out of like the gimmicks that got them over, and like think about it. The Godfather was in like a lot of crappy gimmicks. He finally got over in one gimmick, and then they just took him right out of the gimmick, which obviously isn't much of a difference of what they do today. But this gimmick sucks.
Yeah, they've been doing this shit for years.
I still don't get though why Ivory kind of went into the Hall of Fame in a way, because I think seeing her in this role and stuff just makes me realize she's like highly overrated. So I don't get why she is in the Hall of Fame. But
I think it was, I don't even know. Like before the right to censor, she did literally nothing of note.
Yeah,
like absolutely nothing. She was there as a fucking eye candy before the fucking right to censor bullshit. She literally, that's all she was there for. She barely did a fucking thing in that ring. She always botched. She was never fucking coordinately sound. And they treat her like a fucking queen at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It was actually dog shit.
Yeah. And then you had Kurt Angle get interviewed and talk about how because he was even in the odds with Trish Stratus being ringside, and he said that he's going to retain his WWF championship against Triple H, and says that Trish Stratus might not need to get involved if Stephanie McMahon Helmsley doesn't get involved. So that was Kurt Angle though was awesome at this time, because obviously this was like when he was having his best rookie year, which we'll talk about later on in the show.
Oh, absolutely. The thing about that is, too, this was a heel versus heel matchup, but because Stephanie had the moral high ground, it automatically made Triple H a babyface in this match, too.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
This was a weird... I'll get into that match. So then you had the actual match on the show. It was Lowdown, which consisted of D'Lo Brown, and I actually have to look up the other guy. Chaz?
Yeah, the freaking weird African Donnies.
Yeah. With Tiger Ali Sin ringside versus Kai and Tai, which consisted of Funaki and Taka Michinoku.
Yeah, they did an absolute fucking crime against Taka and Funaki. I mean, is a different story, but Taka, I feel like they just fucking buried around this fucking time. And he was light heavyweight champion too for like the longest time until he lost it to Crash. And it's like the fuck,
I thought he lost it to Christian.
He might have. I forget. All I know is they just they dilly-dicked around with Taka where they could have gotten some real good matches out of him. I think the one good match he had was with Triple H, and then they didn't push him again since.
Yeah. I gotta tell you something, though, like, that was even worse. You might know about this. So, Lowdown does, like, a promo. It's very stereotypical, promo.
Yeah, I know.
And then Taka Michinoku and Funaki, Kai and Tai, they do their promo. And it's, I don't know what they said, because I was paying attention because they had somebody's, like, voice over, like, as they were talking. But, like, you could totally see, like, what they were saying, what they're saying, because the voice, like, the mouths were in sync with, like, what it would be like watching, like, a video with subtitles.
Yeah, and this fucking, like, even in 2001, this pissed me off. I'm like, what the fuck? This is not real. There's no way he's saying that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a waste of time. I look at it as an adult now, and I fucking hate what they did to Taka. I mean, it's like, there's no reason you had to give this gimmick on these guys. Like, these guys could have easily been in contention with the Hardys.
Yeah.
And had a show stealer of a fucking match, and instead you make them a joke tag team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't get that. Like there were a lot of people that were over in the Attitude Era, even comedy gimmicks. Taka and Funaki did not need to be a comedy gimmick.
No.
In the slightest. And there's, especially if this was your version of comedy. Like, check yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, fuck that it's even tasteless nowadays. It's just fucking.
It's
It's
just
so dumb.
it was
It's
just
just
bad.
dumb. It's not even funny. Like you're doing the whole like, oh, they're talking over some voice acting guy, and it was originally Shane McMahon. I don't know if that was the same guy here, because I remember the segment you're talking about now.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound like Shane, and it was like, so you can't just have them speak Japanese and give them a fucking mouthpiece. I don't know,
Yeah,
Mr.
exactly.
Fuji.
Or do like a if you're gonna have him talk, do subtitles like.
Don't even just have Mr. Fuji translate, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that fucking difficult. And it's not. And you want to know the funniest thing is, it's not like Funaki couldn't have spoken English around this time.
Yeah, I think he could.
He was very fluent in English, and so was Taka.
Yeah.
Like they actually sound very badass when they talk in English. They were actually the few people that talked in English with it not being in their first language. It sounded intimidating.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm so annoyed, because it's like there's no reason for this. No reason for this at all. It was so bullshit from top to bottom. Their entire run there, especially Taka. I wish Taka went to WCW, because he would have been utilized so much fucking better.
Ex- Especially even in WCW's dying days too.
Oh my god, he would have been absolutely used better. I mean, dude, just imagine we could have gotten a Rey Mysterio Taka match at some point down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
1997 instead of him going to WWF. I mean, all the power to him. I mean, at least he was the longest reigning light heavyweight champion there, but
Is
still.
that really saying much though? Like because the light heavyweight division died, I think, after Taka lost the belt. So
Taka was like the only good guy in that
yeah.
division. Anytime anybody saw him with the light heavyweight title, they're like, all right, we're going to get some good.
But yeah, they have this match. It actually wasn't a bad tag team match. It was very short, but it gave us a nice taste of what to come at the Rumble. Low down win, but I gave the match 2 stars. But they do something later on in the show that makes it a star and a half, because there's just something that pisses me off. I'll get into that later on in the show, but because this match didn't matter at the end of the day, right after
Yeah.
So D'Lo Brown, where he is today, I believe he's just doing indie work, because I know he was in TNA for a while.
Yeah, indie work and just chilling pretty much in the wrestling industry. I don't even know what he's doing other than that.
I don't even know. What about Chaz, whatever his name is?
Who gives a shit?
Okay. Oh, he's apparently he's mush. Actually, he returned in 2016. Actually, oh he recently was just there in 2000. Chaz apparently was mush from the Headbangers. So there you go.
Who cares, dude? The gimmick was terrible.
And then Funaki is believe it or not, he's been there all this time. As a cruiserweight, and then obviously now as the Japanese commentator. And Taka Michinoku, I think pretty much like realized this gimmick sucked. He's like, screw this, I'm going back to New Japan, and
and has done like 10 times better for himself. Yeah. Runs a school. I know Taka's story. Runs Kai and Tai Dojo. I mean, I would hope I know. He's in a part of my fucking show.
Yeah, exactly.
Runs Kai and Tai Dojo. He is currently running with Suzuki-gun in New Japan. Along with mentoring guys like Zack Sabre Jr., who was a part of the Kai and Tai Dojo for a bit.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other newcomers, including one Will Ospreay. So yeah.
I guess the best person that's come out of this is probably Taka, probably. So
yeah, honestly, yeah, it's not even close. Like I love Funaki, man, but I mean they did him an injustice. He got one cruiserweight title run. That's it.
I think it lasted like 2 months too. Wasn't even like
2 months. 2 months, and then he lost it for some dumb reason.
And then
I think he lost in a multi-man match too, which was dumb.
Yeah. And he lost it right away too. Like he was the first guy out, I remember too. Then you had I don't know if you didn't see this match, but just the way I described it, what would you? I mean, I can't really.
Yeah, it was fun. I'd rate it a star. I wouldn't. You know what? I'm not even gonna rate it anything because, as you said, it didn't even matter at the end of the day.
Yeah. Then you had Vince McMahon get interviewed, and they were doing this storyline at the time where, because Stone Cold and Triple H were pretty much feuding at this time, they had a stipulation where if Triple H provoked Austin, he would be out of the title match, and if Austin provoked Triple H, he would be out of the Rumble. And because Kurt Angle on SmackDown prior to this had shoved Triple H into Austin when he was like the referee for like one of his matches, there was a question about whether or not Triple H was going to be out of the match. So Vince McMahon pretty much said that Triple H is still in the match because obviously he was very high in favor of Triple H because he was the son-in-law, which obviously wasn't different backstage. So that was believable. And then they said that no matter what, Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be in the Rumble. Now, that was very important because that tied into what happened later on in the show, which I like that they did this segment because today they wouldn't have done this segment. They would have just had, what happened later on, and there would be no explanation for it. So,
thank Christ. Yeah, that was actually an explanation.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the Sunday Night Heat. Not bad. I mean, it really not the greatest thing in the world, but it's easier to watch than any other like pre-show we see today because today's pre-show is going to be like 2 hours and they'll be talking about nothing.
Yep.
I mean, the matches on the card,
nothing to be talked about.
The matches on the card will be better today, though. I'll say that because we're not going to have any crappy
fucking low down and high-end type bullshit. Yeah.
So then we had the actual show itself, the same people on commentary.
Oh, another guy that got fucked over before we actually talk about the actual show. Talk about the fall from grace for D'Lo fucking Brown, dude.
Oh yeah, he was like what the
Holy
hottest.
Shit, he was one of the hottest commodities. And like that was the one good thing Vince Russo did was push D'Lo Brown, and then they fucking, I don't even know. They just fucking got rid of him. I'm like, why? He's so fucking talented.
Yeah. So then you had the intro video package. That was awesome. That was a hell of an intro package to really hype you up to want to watch like the Royal Rumble. Like I can't even like they pretty much explain why each guy wants to win the Rumble. Like it's pretty much like what you've adopted into your WIW show. Like exactly like what this video package was.
Yeah, hype up what you're trying to hype up your product. I mean,
yeah.
This is exactly the mantra we have, and this is the mantra they used to have before they're like,
Yeah, but this was awesome. Like I can't even do it justice because if you go on the Royal Rumble show right now and just watch this video package, you'll know what we're talking about. So
yeah, exactly.
So then we had the opening match on the show. I get it was a tag team match. 2007 had a tag team match opener. This one did as well. It was for the WWF Tag Team Championships. WWF Tag Team Champions Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys. Obviously.
Oh my God! All right, we need to talk about the crux of this story: concussions.
Yep.
Talk about difference in time, man.
Exactly.
They're using concussions here in a storyline.
Well, obviously,
my God,
they were feuding anyways. Obviously because Edge and Christian had won the belts at WrestleMania 2000 or 16, whatever you want to call it, from the Dudleys and the Hardys. And then obviously they won TLC 2, but then they lost the titles to the Hardys, and then regained them back. And then they started the feud with the Dudleys. They concussed them pretty much on an episode of Raw. I think it was
using chairs. I think it was chairs specifically. I think on concrete walls.
Yeah, it was the old concerto they used to do too, where they would just use the chairs instead of like have them like on the ground. They would like be standing up, and Edge and Christian would just both simultaneously just hit the guy with the chairs. Which that was awesome, and obviously they did that mockery segment where they mocked the Dudleys, which you could say that's I think Edge and Christian made that work because they were just such awesome heels at the time that I think it worked. And what a tag team match this was. I thought this was a really good opening tag team match. Yeah. You have immediately, the Dudleys don't even want to waste time even like doing introductions or any of that. They just want to like beat the crap out of these guys by trying to concuss them. The Dudley, Devon Dudley hit the swinging neck breaker. Bubba Ray Dudley hit a back suplex on back body drop on Edge, dropping him on the ground. But obviously, the biggest story of the match was that the Dudleys were still selling the injuries from their concussions, which that's obviously a nice touch. I thought that really made the match. So Edge and Christian targeted the head of Devon Dudley and really went to town on him. And what I thought was funny was Jerry the King Lawler makes a funny comment during the match where he acted like he was looking up what concussion was and said that it's an injury to the brain. He's like, the Dudleys don't have brains, so they can't even get a concussion. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh my god.
This was like heel Lawler too, the best.
Lawler was the best around this time. There's nobody better than heel Lawler. Well, I mean there are. I mean, you can't get better than Bobby Heenan as a heel, but still.
Oh yeah. I never got why they turned him to a face commentator, because he was just awesome as a heel commentator. So
I mean, as long as he was with JR, he could be either or. As long as you had JR and King, it didn't really matter if he was face or heel, because their dynamic was great either way. But yeah, I think the only reason, honestly, that they turned Lawler face was because of Cena. Because they wanted as many people to put over Cena as possible, including Jerry Lawler.
That makes sense, yeah, because I think that's like around the time he did turn face, was when Cena was,
on the rise.
Yeah. So then you had Edge and Christian get the heat on Devon Dudley, target in the head. They had a jumping DDT. Well, Edge did anyways, not both of them, on Devon Dudley. And obviously, this is like some great tag team psychology where they would do the thing where Edge and Christian would pretend not to switch in and out. And obviously, the ref didn't notice it. And I think it's funny because my dad went to a wrestling show, and because he doesn't watch wrestling, there was a spot like where there was a heel tag team, and the ref asked the heel, "Did you make the tag?" And he said yes, and my dad's like, obviously he's going to say yes. He's not going to say he didn't make a tag. So I think about that every time, a heel does that now. And Devon Dudley finally makes the tag to Bubba Ray Dudley, but the ref doesn't see it. So that's actually good tag team psychology because it gets everybody all mad. And then Edge and Christian try to do the concerto to Devon Dudley, but they duck it. Well, he ducks it. And takes him out with a double clothesline, and then Bubba Ray Dudley finally gets the hot tag, and obviously Bubba Ray Dudley hits some awesome hot tag maneuvers like the Bubba Bomb, the Power Bomb, and they go to get the tables, but Christian cuts him off, throws Devon Dudley into the barricade, Edge hits a spear on him, and on Bubba Ray Dudley, and Bubba Ray Dudley kicks out. Which I can see why not a lot of people liked Edge's spear, because it wasn't very credible that he was taking certain guys down with the spear like Bubba Ray Dudley. They do the spot where they do the what's up thing and do the headbutt to the groin, which that's very notable because they typically cut that out of the network now, but they actually left it in this time, which was awesome. So, and then Edge and Christian try to do it, but Bubba Ray Dudley reverses it into a roll up, and Devon Dudley shoves Christian off the top turnbuckle, and this causes Edge to get hit in the groin, and the Dudleys hit the 3D for the win, and become the new WWF Tag Team Champions, which I thought made sense considering the fact that they Edge and Christian had got the advantage on him throughout the whole feud. So
I mean, it makes sense for the babyfaces to make their comeback. I love freaking Bubba's celebration. She's like, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, Bubba, we get it.
Yeah.
You won. I love you, man, but oh my lord,
it puts over winning.
Getting a little too hyped there.
And then you had maybe he was really hyped though. Like, you've met Bubba Ray Dudley before, so it's like maybe that's the way he is in real life. So
he probably is. He's always a hype machine. But yeah.
And obviously, one notable thing is it's really weird because the Dudleys didn't have the typical Dudley Boy theme song. They had some other theme song in this show, which I like the other one. I like the one they have now better. well, not now, but you get what I'm saying. The one they just recently used, but
My favorite one was the Power Man 5000 one. It always will be.
oh yeah, that one's good too. And then you have
Get up, drop the bombshell.
wasn't that's the one they use in I know was that the one they use in TNA or WWE because they used
WWE, but then TNA tried to rip it off, and Dale Oliver sucked at it.
yeah.
No,
So
because
then
Dale Oliver's version was watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out,
yeah,
watch out.
it was
It
like
was
a
so
slow. It
bad.
was like a slower version of it or something like.
Yeah,
Um,
basically.
so then afterwards, the aftermath of this is this obviously would lead to TLC 3 with well or 2, whatever you want to call it, but you know the third like ladder match with Edge and Christian, the Hardys and the Dudleys, where Edge and Christians would win the belts back, and then obviously they did the invasion angle. The Dudleys and the Hardys kind of feuded over that. Ironically enough, Edge and Christian broke up as a tag team shortly afterwards, which I thought kind of probably was too soon for that, but.
Yeah, it was way too soon. I think it was like right after TLC 4 on SmackDown.
Yeah, and then
That had all three of the TLC 2 TLC 3. Sorry,
yeah,
TLC 3 participants. Because I remember, it was like right after that because I know all three members of TLC 2 were in there along with Benoit and Jericho.
yeah,
Which, by the way, is also a vastly underrated match that people should go watch.
yeah. I've seen it. It's awesome.
TLC 3.
And then yeah, Edge would do a singles one. Edge and Christian would feud for the IC belt, and then obviously Edge won that feud because they wanted to push Edge, and Edge pretty much became like one of the bigger stars of the company. Multiple world titles, multiple WWE titles. He pretty much did it all, and obviously, unfortunately, had to cut his career short because of the spear at WrestleMania 17. And the Dudleys pretty much had like one final one in WWE, ending in 2005, and then obviously they went to TNA until about 2014. We don't exactly know when they were gone, but it was pretty much 2014 because I know Bubba Ray Dudley went back for like a short stint, but then obviously that didn't really work out very well. And the Dudleys
hold on. I think it was they were there until 05. Then they went to TNA. Then they came back. God, I don't know why. Looking at it now, and then Devon's a producer now, and Bubba's like, "Fuck this," and decided to stick with the Indies.
Yep.
And I don't blame him in the slightest.
And
I do not blame him in the slightest.
Well, Bubba Ray Dudley, if he could still go too, why not go in the Indies? I think he'll work with like WWE again, like someday. But if he could still wrestle, why? Because can Devon still wrestle?
I guarantee you, if there's anybody AEW is gonna sign, it will probably be Bubba Ray. I guarantee it.
And then you have they went into the Hall. Also, the Dudleys went into the Hall of Fame last year, actually. So that's cool. And then we had. So I rated. I gave this match 3.5 stars. I thought it was a really good opening tag team match. What do you rate this match?
This is great. Definitely, I rated 3.25. It was solid. It was a good opener to start the show. Got the crowd hyped. Did its job.
If we see a match like this, which we're not going to see a match like this today because there's no tag team match today that's going to be this good, because of what tag team matches are on the card. So.
The sad thing is, you're not wrong. I wish they'd do a tag team. Like I just wish they'd take the tag team division seriously, like NXT does.
Yeah, exactly. We'll probably see that actually at NXT Takeover Phoenix this year. We'll see. The tag team match on that show probably will be about this quality. So.
Oh yeah, well probably even better. I'd have to say that like this match was great. But, like, you look at, like, Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain, that match was incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and I expect Undisputed Era and War Raiders are probably going to top this. But it was still, this still doesn't mean it wasn't a good match.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had Triple H and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, because she was using both names at the time, backstage. And Triple H is worried that Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Well, like I said, we're going to explain the storyline as the show goes on. Was worried that like her and Trish Stratus are gonna screw up his WWE title match. So Stephanie McMahon Helmsley says that all she's there to do is to make sure that Trish Stratus doesn't interfere. And who comes in? None other than Drew Carey, because he was doing a pay-per-view like shortly after this at the time. I don't know how well it did because I didn't look it up.
Yep.
And pretty much this was the whole show was Drew Carey backstage hyping up his big pay-per-view. So he wanted to talk to Vince McMahon because he was like the king of the pay-per-view.
Let me put this in air quotes. Hyping up in the most monotone voice ever.
Yeah, exactly. And he wanted to talk to Vince McMahon to kind of, so that way he'll know how to advertise his show. So Stephanie McMahon Helmsley suggests that, Trish Stratus is a huge fan, so he should go talk to Trish Stratus. And I guess this was supposed to mess with Trish somehow. I guess I don't know. It was
even though it didn't. At some point, I think it was just more of an annoyance to her. It's like, Vince will come in eventually.
I think. I guess the whole story is maybe they thought Trish would have flirted with Drew Carey, and Vince would have come in and pissed about it, but that's not what happened at all. So we'll get into that later. But
because Vince, it wouldn't have been believable.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say all the Drew Carey segments I thought just were not very good, except one. There was one that was good on this show.
No, yeah, if they honestly, Mike and I actually, I told him I was doing this review and we had this conversation. If they were to do that one Rumble segment and then the night after the Rumble he comes out and threatens to sue Kane, Kane comes out again. He, takes Drew Carey up on his shoulders and, Drew Carey's, flailing his feet like he would in the Drew Carey show when something went bad.
Yeah.
And then he just throws him in a dumpster. That would have been all the Drew Carey you would have needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know they do pay-per-view replays, so if you could do your one segment, Vince, how do I promote my big pay-per-view? Go in a Rumble. Goes in a Rumble. Bribes Kane tosses him into a dumpster. Instead, they have two unbearably long segments dedicated to Drew Carey that weren't even that funny, and they should have just had him come into Vince's office like, I want to promote my pay-per-view. Can you help out? And then go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
This was just... Then you had a funny segment. The APA were backstage playing poker.
Yeah,
and they show each other their Royal Rumble segments, and Crash Holly comes up and tells him not to get in his way or he's going to eliminate them. And he walks off, and Bradshaw says, and I thought we were the drunks in this show. That was awesome. That was hilarious.
Yeah, right.
I'll let you break down this next match. It's the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, man. Some of the most insane stuff you will see between two best in the world. It was Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho.
Yeah, break down the feud and the match.
The feud basically was these are two Canucks that can't stand each other, that beat the shit out of each other because one thought he was way too cocky for his britches, that being Benoit against Jericho. And Jericho was getting annoyed that he kept getting the shit kicked out of him, so he kept kicking the shit out of him right back. It was a simple feud. It was a simple reason for it to exist. And it was eventually leading to the Intercontinental Championship ladder match, which was so damn brutal from top to bottom.
Yeah.
He had a slingshot suplex ladder spot by Benoit, which looked like it absolutely killed Jericho.
Yeah.
The freaking... some of the brutal spots in here. Obviously the chair. Looking at it, it makes me crease now because I know what happens with Benoit later. But it's still a sick spot. Benoit dives over the ropes.
Well, one spot that
smashes him with a chair, Jericho.
One spot that makes me cringe though, because of the stuff with Benoit, was when he misses the diving headbutt off the ladder too.
Oh, because he didn't do it safely. He wanted to actually use his head. I'm like, oh, God.
And, I think the chair spot makes me cringe, too, because they replayed it 3 times, and it's obviously, that makes sense because that's a big spot. But it's like, because of what we know what happens with Benoit, but like I don't want to see this replayed like 3 times.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But you had I thought that this was going to be the end of the match because I had seen this match before, but this is the first time I've seen it, so I already had known who won. But I thought this was the finish. Was when Jericho put him in like the walls of Jericho on the ladder. I'm like, okay, that's the finish right there. He's no way Benoit is gonna like get out of that. That wasn't the finish, and I was like, wow, that's not the finish. That's awesome. That was an awesome spot though when he does the walls of Jericho like on the ladder when they're both on it. Like,
Oh my god, there was too many spots like that were awesome. I mean, and the funny thing is, here's the one thing I'm gonna say. The one thing that kind of annoys me about this match is that literally the only reason why Jericho won was because he tumbled Chris Benoit to the outside.
Yeah.
To which I'm thinking to myself, dude, he literally all he did was just take somewhat of a bump on the outside after he fell off the ladder. Why didn't you just save the suicide dive chair spot, have him smash him in the head, and then climb the ladder and then get the title?
Exactly.
Like, that would have been the perfect ending, in my opinion.
I still like the finish, though. I think it's fun.
I love the finish. It's just, my little gripe with it. I'd still probably rate it like 4.5 stars. It's just fucking amazing.
So, I'll say my rating, and I'll explain my rating. So, without knowing the stuff with Chris Benoit, I would have given it 4.5 stars. But with the knowledge of the Chris Benoit and with some of the spots in the match, I had to knock it down to 4 stars. So, probably, because it's really tough. Because even like when he does the crossface and Lawler and Kenta, he just won't stop. It's like, oh, come on. This is just no. And also because it's Chris, I know what Chris Benoit did. Any match gets knocked down a star rating because like I just can't forget about what Chris Benoit did. So it's a shame because like any of his matches make me feel that way. I can't explain it, but I know it's like wrestling, but I just anytime I watch Chris Benoit, I just can't forget about it. So there's that, but it still is a great match. I still gave it 4 stars. If I gave the Rumble the same rating, but if you would have asked me, what match I like more, a lot of people probably would say the Rumble, but I actually like this match more than the Rumble. I think this is the match of the show.
Yeah, no, this is the match of the night by far.
And then you pretty much broke down this segment with the Drew Carey and Tristan, where Carey asks Vince, how he promotes his show, and I think because Vince is like pissed off that because this is when Vince was going through his midlife crisis stage. He put
you mean the 40 you mean the 20th one by this point.
Yeah, obviously. Vince pretty much tricks Drew Carey to go into the Royal Rumble. So there's that. And then you had Chyna and Billy Gunn backstage, which I kind of like this because it's obviously referenced the past relationships in DX and stuff like that, where Billy Gunn is worried about Chyna competing in this women's match tonight, and Chyna says that he shouldn't be worried. You should be worried about the guys in the Rumble. This is a much bigger rant because I have a problem with the women's match. A huge problem.
Oh my god, don't. Yeah, that actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I have a major problem with it too. Because I know what happens.
Then you have Chris Jericho get interviewed, and he pretty much says that he's proven that he's best in the world. He's the Intercontinental Champion, and he celebrates. I don't even know who should break this match down because I don't know who pisses off more. The WWF Women's Championship match, WWF Women's Champion Ivory with Steven Richards versus Chyna. Now let's talk about this. The ECW Championship match from the Royal Rumble 2007 is actually similar to this match, except I don't know which match is worse.
This is way worse.
The feud of this,
you gotta know finish. You gotta know finish in this match, whereas the other one you did get a finish. It was a count out, and it wasn't to make light of a serious fucking injury. I'll make it a storyline. Like, this pissed me off. Here's the deal. I'm not even gonna break down this fucking match, except for one fucking spot, because the rest of the match was fucking a squash up until this point.
We're gonna break down the storyline too, unless that
Yeah,
ties.
storyline is Ivory apparently broke her neck on a power bomb or something
No,
like that.
China did. China did.
Wait, China broke her neck how?
I think one of the Right to Censor members. I think it was.
Yeah, one of the Right to Censor members broke her neck with a power bomb or something.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how long. There's somebody said it was like she was gone for 6 months and then was able to come back. I'm like, give me a fucking break. Are you kidding me? Like, and keep in mind, like, this is the same fucking injury that kept Austin on the shelf.
Yep.
Like, there's the same, like that's the thing that pisses me off. People have seen somebody's neck got broken in the Attitude Era. Literally, not even 2 years ago when Owen Hart did the pile driver on Austin.
Exactly.
So they know what a neck injury is. They know how serious it is. They know how scary it is. This isn't like something where Joe Schmoes are going to be like, oh, no, they didn't know. Yes, they did. They saw it on live TV.
Yeah.
They saw it on pay-per-view. There's no way they didn't know about this. They made a whole fucking storyline about Austin having his neck broke.
Yeah.
And then him coming back and beating up the boss, which launched him into the stratosphere. Like, this completely took the piss out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It completely took the piss out of that. Fucking China does this stupid handspring back elbow, doesn't even get the full velocity because she missed her mark fully, and then she hits the spot and then sells her neck.
Yep. And she
acting
had
like they got whiplash when there was barely any fucking whiplash whatsoever. Then I'm not even done there. They call the match. It was the non-finish. Ivory retains her championship. And then they're putting her on a stretcher. They're putting her on a...
You do have one thing wrong. Ivory actually she did pin China afterwards. And
she pinned China. I'm sorry. There was a finish. It was just shitty. And then Ivory walks away. And then they fucking bring out a stretcher. She has it moved. They have JR. This pissed me off, and it still does. I actually don't think this is the best Rumble. I actually wish I did 2002 now, just because of this one segment. Oh my god. They have JR do the Owen Hart voice to sell this fucking injury. Quote unquote injury. This was tasteless.
Yeah.
This was fucking bullshit. This was not okay in the fucking slightest. Thus, I give this match and the segment, I'll quote Brian Alvarez here, -5 stars.
I think I agree with you. -5 stars. This is like the worst match. So, what's worse about this, too, it's like, why would you book the match and not have China win the championship? This is easily... Everything that WrestleMania 17 should have been this match. Like, why book the match? Like, they should have booked like a hardcore title match. It would have been better than this. Like, any match would have been better than this. It's just like, this match sucks. The storyline sucks, and just everything sucked about it all around. So, -5 stars.
Yeah, and their excuse for China being in the women's division is because her neck got broken by men.
It was really hard
too. It was such a fall from grace for her.
Yeah, we know why she fell from grace too, but
yeah, of course, and you know, and by the way, I don't care what anyone wants to tell me. I still stand by that. I think what WWE did to China was appalling.
Yeah.
From like, period. I think what they did to her was absolutely, positively uncool of them. Yeah. Especially in 01. Yeah. This was just. They fired her basically while she was champion and had her drop the belt to Lita.
Yeah.
It was not okay.
Yeah, we forgot to break down like where Chris Jericho. We know where Chris Benoit is. We don't need to really talk about where he is. So, I mean, obviously he had a really good run in WWE. Won the Royal Rumble, won the world title up until and was having some nice U.S. championship reigns, and then obviously that happened. Chris Jericho obviously would have a great one in WWE.
Many times.
Yeah.
And
Always
then he
changed
was
his
an
character.
idiot and signed with AEW.
Well, then he did New Japan too. And he's got his own band now. So Chris Jericho did really well. He's still wrestling to this day too, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, until AEW, because who knows if this will get off the fucking ground.
Yeah. And then you have Ivory. Like we said, China just squashed you at WrestleMania, and you pretty much just broke down what happened. So pretty much China went and did the porn stuff, and then she
overdosed.
She had like the one-off appearance in like Impact and stuff, and yeah,
it was bad. It was really bad. I feel so bad for China, honestly, because China did not deserve
and it's
what
sad
she had, and like literally, like people tried to convince her not to do that, and she just went into. Honestly, after the WWF stuff, she went into pure isolation.
Yeah, exactly.
She went into pure isolation, and she was never the same.
And especially too, now she's never gonna get she'll go into the Hall of Fame, but now it's not gonna. It's like I feel like when she gets announced, it's gonna. I think it's more people will get pissed now because she could have gone in all this time, and have an actual speech versus when she actually goes in and.
Yeah, it probably would have saved her too.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Then you have Ivory, who.
It's like, and by the way, that's where I say if people think that Stephanie is this caring individual, fuck off. Fuck right off. Because if that was the fucking case, she wouldn't have fucking been dating Triple H behind her fucking back. This was bullshit. This was fucking bullshit. She is the sole reason why she's not in the fucking Hall of Fame right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she deserves all the fucking shit she gets for that alone. I don't care.
Well, Triple H, somewhat, I would say, is the reason too.
Oh no, Triple H is also the fucking reason. I wholeheartedly agree with you. But Triple H actually, you can tell Triple H actually wants to put her in the Hall of Fame. It's Stephanie that won't fucking let him.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
So
And then you have Ivory.
That's all I gotta fucking say with that.
I think Ivory went on to have once the Right to Censor thing. Did she even do anything after Right to Censor? I don't even know. I didn't look it up.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, she did. She came back to WWE. I don't know what she did before, but she came back to WWE and did that.
Didn't she have another
shitty table for 3 with Alundra? The funny thing is, fucking Molly. She was on the table for 3 with Alundra Blaze and Molly Holly, and then she was the most annoying fucking bitch on the fucking planet. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, she talks way too fucking much, and she thinks she's the hottest shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I hope Alundra Blaze punches you in the fucking face.
Yeah, Alundra Blaze did more than she did.
Oh my god.
And then Steven Richards, well, since he's in the Rumble, actually, is he in the Rumble? I don't think he is, so we'll just see where he is.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I think they did an injustice for Stevie Richards, absolute injustice, because he was actually really talented.
He had
he was mostly comedy, but honestly, this dude could have been such a bigger star than he was.
Yeah. And then
Val Venus and Godfather. I don't even know what they did. I think Godfather is just still being Godfather. There's really nothing else to it. Val Venus, he's a cannabis activist now, and
he did have one final one in WWE too.
Yeah, on Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah.
Great. And then he got fired after Sunday Night Heat had its 500th episode.
Yeah. And then you have Godfather, who occasionally comes back here and there.
And then Bull Buchanan, I don't even know.
He was he was B Squared in 2012. No, 2012. 2000.
Yeah, 2002, 2003.
And then he came back for one segment, for the This Is Your Life with Cena, which
oh my god.
Actually, I was actually there live for that segment. That did not go over well live. So,
yeah, I heard all you booed.
Yeah, we did.
And then until The Rock came out and rock bottomed Mick Foley.
Yeah,
which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. Then you have Stephanie McMahon Helmsley backstage. She confronts she goes to get her makeup done, but Trish Stratus beats her to the punch. And Trish Stratus says that she's not going to get involved unless Stephanie McMahon Helmsley gets involved. This was a fine backstage segment. These backstage segments piss me off, and I'll talk about that because the WWF title match is coming up.
Wait, before that, actually, I want to say one thing about that segment with the Cena "This Is Your Life" thing. You knew it was bad because Cena didn't want it, and then Foley insisted on it, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And The Rock literally came out, and it was like the one time The Rock and Cena were on the same page is when he fucking rock bottom Mick Foley. He was like, "There you go, you're welcome. I'm leaving now. I'm sorry you had to go through this." That was probably the one funny thing about the whole thing.
Yeah, we all laughed too because like we thought The Rock was gonna come out and do like this big promo, and he just came in and rock bottom Foley, and then that was it. It was like that was awesome. We were like, you know what? That was awesome. That was like the best part of it. That was awesome. Then you had Drew Carey backstage, and I guess he got ring gear brought to him, which was pretty crappy ring gear, but it's not like he was
a jumpsuit, or no, not even a jumpsuit, a tracksuit.
Yeah, and he's so happy to be in the Royal Rumble, and he tries to introduce himself to Kane, and Kane just walks away, and he's like, I guess he's not a fan of me or something, and he just sits down, and he's like in a great mood that he's in the Royal Rumble. This segment was awesome. This segment was just Kane being Kane and Drew Carey being Drew Carey. This was perfect, and nothing was wrong with it.
Yeah, nothing was wrong with it.
Except that he was beaten in the Rumble, but, you know, I liked this.
No, I actually liked his appearance in the Rumble later on. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Then you have Lowdown and Tiger Ali Sin backstage, and the thing was they were debating about who should be in the Rumble, so Vince McMahon comes up and said that none of them are going to be in the Rumble because all the spots are filled. So Tiger Ali Sin's like, and by the way, is it me or does Tiger Ali Sin remind me of Jinder Mahal? Because I got Jinder Mahal vibes from him.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so Tiger Ali Sin wants to know who replaced them, and Vince McMahon's like, Drew Carey. And you know what? I could be pissed because it takes a spot from a roster, but be honest, I would have rather, with the Drew Carey appearance, I would have had that than like any of these jabronis be in that match. Like, these guys.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. Then you had Triple H backstage.
Drew Curry. Who's Drew Curry?
Oh, that was hilarious. That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. He didn't. That was funny, actually.
It was get it? Because it's an Indian reference, even though they're not fucking Indian.
Oh, Tiger Ali Sin wasn't Indian either?
No, none of them were Indian.
I knew D'Lo.
That's the dumbest part about this. Then none of them were Indian.
It seems like the WWE likes to hire people, say they're Indian, and they're not Indian. That's funny.
Yeah, basically.
So Triple H is backstage. I thought something was going to happen, but it was just Triple H, like, being intense, staring into the mirror, like, getting himself hyped up for the WWF title match. And I don't know why, but I just laughed my ass off because I thought I just couldn't take it seriously. So, I mean, because it's like, it's just Triple H being Triple H, hyping himself up. And it was just funny. I just thought it was funny.
Yes.
I'll let you break down the storyline of this match. I didn't like the storyline, but that might not be a popular opinion. It's the WWF Championship match. WWF Champion Kurt Angle with Trish Stratus ringside versus Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley ringside.
Well, the story for the match is like, why is this happening? But at least by the end, it served its purpose. So
yeah.
I can't complain. The match was great, though.
I thought it was good. I'll explain why I thought it was just good. Because right when the match really started to get going, right when the match really started to work, they did this like bull crap with like Stephanie McMahon Helmsley and Trish Stratus brawling, and it kind of brought me out of the match a bit. So I gave it like 3 stars for that reason, but it was a good match.
Yeah, same. I mean, there's really not much else to say. I mean, they hit Kurt and Triple H hit their greatest hits: the knee, face buster, the German suplexes, all that.
I did like. It was interesting though because it was heel versus heel too. Like, it kind of changed the dynamic of a wrestling match because typically the wrestling matches, as the face makes their comeback, but because they were both heels, I thought it worked too. I think Angle kind of played face in the match a bit though because you could kind of tell he was like the kind of baby face in this match because he was kind of the one doing the comebacks and stuff. But
yeah, but they were cheering for Triple H because Stephanie had the moral high ground for the story.
yeah, exactly. It was weird.
Ridiculous.
To me, Angle was the baby face in this match though. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like the American Death Block that Triple H put on Kurt Angle. I thought that was awesome too. And how
that was good.
How he really worked over the knee of Kurt Angle, like he lifted up his knee and like drove it right into the steps.
Yeah, that was good. I liked how they made it very technical between the two, which it honestly should be.
Yeah.
It's sad that we couldn't finish up that storyline between them the year prior, but
yeah.
Whatever.
I don't get it why though. It like anytime Triple H and Kurt Angle get into a feud, it's never like about them. It's always about the. It's always about Stephanie.
It's always about Stephanie because she's an attention-seeking bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
But
that is why.
Then the referee takes a bump. He took the referee too. Took 3 bumps in this match. I thought he was gonna legit injure himself. When Kurt Angle threw Triple H and he landed really roughly into the steps. It was rough. But Triple H is on the verge of getting the win. And Stone Cold Steve Austin runs out. Now this made sense because this was when they did that storyline where Triple H had sent Rikishi, who did it for The Rock, but I guess The Rock knew nothing about it, to run over Stone Cold Steve Austin and take him out. So Stone Cold Steve Austin was getting his revenge on Triple H because Triple H had screwed him out of a WWF title match prior to this. So Austin gets the crap out of Triple H, hits him with the WWF Championship gold. One thing I do think that's funny though is going back to the Chris Jericho Chris Benoit match. In the build to that match, you can clearly hear Chris Jericho says, "I want a shot at the Intercontinental Championship." You would never hear Chris Jericho say that today because they can't say that word today. So I think that's funny. And now they call it the championship belt because they don't call it the belt anymore. But anyhow, Stone Cold Steve Austin then lays out Triple H with the stunner. Kurt Angle makes the cover. The referee makes the count. Which obviously I liked how the referee even showed how he was knocked out. He just made the count. And Stone Cold Steve Austin flips off Triple H. Angle retains his title. Triple H gets busted open from this, and Triple H just goes backstage screaming Austin. And obviously we'll get into it because that leads into the Rumble match. But like I said, I thought this was a good match. I give it 3 stars. It would have been better if there was the Austin thing. I didn't mind, but the Triple H the Stephanie McMahon Trish thing just kind of took me out of the match. I bet Vince too was creaming in his pants too because he had 2 girls fighting right beside him. Yes, one of them's his daughter, but we know that one storyline that Vince wanted to do with his daughter, so it wouldn't be past me.
Yeah, it's gross. He's just fucking gross.
I do gotta say though, I'm gonna sound, but Trish was hot back then though. Can we just be honest with ourselves?
No doubt.
There's no denying
that.
But she still is today, but nowhere near the levels as she was back then. That was
honestly, I think she's kind of hotter back now, but that's just me.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, this match is 3 stars.
Yeah, same.
Then The Rock gets interviewed. He talks about the Royal Rumble, about all.
This was the best. This was the best. It's The Rock at his best, dude.
I bet you could say the promo word for word.
No, but I do. I can say one, because I don't remember all of it, but I do remember the best part of the problem. Is Kane gonna team up with the Undertaker? Is the Undertaker gonna team up with Kane? Kane wants to buy the Undertaker a box of chocolates. Undertaker wants to go and tickle Kane's big red nipple. Who cares what they want to do?
That was awesome.
That was the best.
This was The Rock. You could probably just find this video on YouTube, so we can't even do. That's but just watch it. It's The Rock being The Rock. So
it's The Rock being The Rock. I mean,
yeah,
it's the best. It was one of the best promos Rock ever did, actually. And it's sad that it doesn't get the recognition for it because it was hilarious. Yeah. It was fucking hilarious.
I feel like sometimes we are the worst then because we're just it's The Rock being The Rock. That's all we need to say, though. There's nothing else to say. It's The Rock being The Rock.
It's The Rock being The Rock.
Then we
Now,
had
question was he funnier when he was? I think he was funnier around this time. I think he's funny still, but
yeah.
I don't think he's nearly as funny as he was around this time, to be honest.
I think too, because when he's there too, he talks for so long that it makes like his segments kind of not unbearable to watch, but because it's still The Rock. But he talks out like for WrestleMania 32, he was so funny, but he was out there for like an 30 minutes. So he's
Yeah,
so funny. I think too because I still think he's funny, but he was funnier around this time than he was today.
yeah, because he doesn't have to be out there for a long time trying to stall for time to make sure they go their time set.
Yeah.
Because and if that's a fucking problem, I don't know. Maybe shorten your time for shows.
Exactly. But let's talk about the 2001 Royal Rumble match. The 30-man Royal Rumble match where the winner gets it was just one championship match then because...
This may not be your favorite Rumble, but to me, this was still one of the most entertaining Rumbles ever.
I agree with that, yeah.
This is so fucking fun to watch.
It was. I thought this Rumble... I still, like I said, I still thought it was a great Rumble, just not my favorite Rumble.
Fair enough.
Like I liked 2007's better for different
Really? Well, as far as match, yeah, I love this. I love this more for the card, I guess, except for that one fucking horrible match.
Yeah, but I like 2007 Royal Rumble match better, but but as for a card, I'm not sure which one show is better. But let's talk about the Royal Rumble match. Number 1 was Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
Number 2 was Bo Buchanan, which they went at it. I liked how they just went right at it too. They didn't really waste any time. It was just, let's just beat each other.
Thank God Bo Buchanan was out right away.
Yeah. Matt Hardy. I don't know why they didn't just have the Hardy Boys start anyways. Like I thought they should have just had them start. I thought that was a bad decision too. They should.
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah. Matt Hardy comes out and Bo Buchanan gets eliminated, by both Hardy Boys. And this is cool because you get to see the Hardy Boys go at it, which I think is awesome because I think it really puts over the Royal Rumble when they do this. This was pretty much,
and they were just wrestling. They were having a wrestling match.
And they tried to eliminate each other. And Farouk comes out, and I liked how this, because Matt would have probably eliminated Jeff Hardy, but he's like, okay, let's stop fighting, let's take care of Farouk. I thought that was awesome. And they eliminate Farouk right away. They hit the poetry in motion on him, twist of fate into the swanton, and the Hardys eliminate Farouk.
I felt bad. I felt bad for Farouk here. Can I be honest?
I did too, but
because I'm thinking to myself, he could have been a really good person, and the Hardy Boys too, really, especially in the hardcore scene of the Rumble. They could have brutalized some people. Especially Farouk. I could see Farouk just taking trash can lids and just smashing him over the head.
Yeah.
But
it made sense though for him to get out right away because it's 2-on-1. You're not going to have him last as long as he did.
Yeah. I guess somebody had to take that. I would have made it. Honestly, I don't know. I would have tried to do. See, the thing is, instead of Farouk, and who was Drew Carey right after that or no?
Yeah, he was.
Ah, shit. I was gonna say you should have one of the members of the Kaientai Dojo, or they were just known as Kaientai back then. Just kind of fight it out with the Hardys and build a program with them.
Yeah,
for the future, but
Or if you wanted to have someone get out right away with the Hardys in this fashion, do freaking Val Venus just because of that also the same.
Yeah, Val could have had that spot on him.
Because he overstayed his welcome in this Royal Rumble match.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I agree.
Then you had Drew Carey. He just stands around outside the ring, and the Hardys go at it. And Drew Carey actually goes in the win, and the Hardys get eliminated.
Hold on one second. I'm just pouring chips. You might get cut off if I do that.
All right.
All right. All right, continue.
So yeah, Drew Carey. So then Drew Carey gets all happy because he thinks he accomplished something. I thought that was funny. And
Yeah, I love how smart the Hardys were until they eliminated each other by going to the top rope.
Yeah, that was not the best decision. But then Kane comes out, and Drew Carey like looks at his eye, like has the look of fear in his eyes. He asked the Hardys for help, and I guess the Hardys weren't interested. They just went backstage and just said, "Drew Carey, good luck, buddy. You deal with him." Drew Carey tries to bribe Kane with cash. Kane, because Kane doesn't accept cash. He's Kane, so.
Yeah. The funniest thing is they should have incorporated this. He won. He's a smart Donnie. Like he won. What was that game show he won?
Look it up.
What was it? It was the only time he really talked normally, and then they used that as his normal voice. What was the game? Oh, Weakest Link.
Okay.
Weakest Link. He won Weakest Link. So, like, he's a smart Donnie. He's probably a millionaire just by being smart alone. He doesn't need your fucking money. He doesn't need your pity cash.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Drew Carey.
Oh, this is Kane that won Weakest Link?
Yeah, Kane. You didn't know that? You gotta watch that, dude. That's where he showed off how smart he really was. Because, like, they had, like, a bunch of their most popular superstars around the 2000s go on Weakest Link, because by that point they were like huge in pop culture, and Kane won the whole thing. He won the entire thing, answered every question right, and I think he donated to a charity for kids as Kane, in full getup, talking normally. It was fucking wild. It was wild.
I gotta check that out,
dude. It's hilarious.
Maybe that could be a retro sometime too.
Yeah, just review the Weakest Link. Yes,
on it.
Absolutely.
And then, so eventually Raven comes out, who was the hardcore champion at the time, and Raven.
Poor Raven, man.
Yeah, he looked out of shape kind of in this match a little bit too, though. But...
Well, I mean, because he just like, what's the fucking point anymore?
Yeah.
He knew he was buried from the very beginning when he came back, because, dude, I would have loved to see a Raven Austin feud, man.
Oh, same, yeah.
That would have been amazing. But, of course, because somebody had it out for him backstage.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, fuck backstage politics. That's the one thing I'm glad NXT doesn't have, is backstage fucking politics.
Exactly,
Did you see Triple H's interview with Inside the Ropes
recently? I saw, I think I saw something, but...
Yeah, like, he basically, he said that it's not just about them, like, they would just do shows together. They actually work as a team to get better in the ring.
Yeah.
In the Performance Center. Like, that's the one thing that's why I love NXT more than I do the main roster, because there's no backstage ball take bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Then
that's what I like about it. And I wish, people that, the booking would be like that, but
Yeah. Then Drew Carey just eliminates himself because he's afraid of Kane. He doesn't want to deal with Kane. I don't
I would be too. In fairness, Drew, I agree with you.
Yeah. Actually, so I know like a lot of people hate that Drew Carey was in a Royal Rumble, but honestly, it was actually pretty entertaining. It's like one of the best things about this Rumble, I think, is Drew Carey's appearance.
Yeah.
Because they actually booked it pretty believable where he didn't do anything. Like, it's not like when they would bring back in the guest host in like 2009 and they were like, actually making it seem like they were like a threat to the roster when like they wouldn't be a threat to the roster. Like when some of them wouldn't be a threat to the roster.
Obviously, the only person I could have seen do that is Stephen Amell.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't complain if he made a Royal Rumble appearance, but obviously I think he's not gonna make.
He's probably with Owen.
Yeah. But yeah, Raven.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet right now that the first major program for the tag team titles are going to be with Bad Influence and Stephen Amell and David Arquette? How much you want to bet and all in they're going to do that?
You mean double or nothing?
Mm-hmm.
I would say $50 because I'm not going that high. So I'll say $50.
I don't blame you. I guarantee you that's going to be a match, though, or some combination of it.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2 singles matches, one with Kaz and one with Daniels and Arquette or something.
I don't even want to think about that, but
Although I will say Arquette's gotten much better. He has gotten much better. I can't shit on him too much as far as a wrestler now, but
yeah. Then you have Al Snow though. He and this is like when the Royal Rumble match kind of becomes fun because not Al Snow, sorry, Raven. He goes through the ropes. He's taking out Kane. He grabs some weapons. He grabs trash cans. Pretty much every weapon that you can think of was in this match. And
didn't he bring out like a shopping cart full of weapons?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And Al Snow comes out because apparently him and Raven were feuding around this time, and just attacks Raven, throws him into the post, throws him into the barricade, throws him back into the ring. But because he wasn't able to go in the ring yet because he was out too early, but he was actually the next entrant. But I kind of like this. It puts over that feud. But yeah, I actually like this. So question, was the 24/7 rule still around with the hardcore title?
Yes.
So could they technically have pinned Raven and won the hardcore title in this match? If they wanted to? Or do you think
they should have totally done it? That would have been hilarious, but
I guess I could believe it though, because like what's more of a bigger priority though? Winning the hardcore championship or main event in
the
wrestling?
Rumble, obviously.
So
although kill 2 birds with 1 stone, it ain't bad day.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Al Snow brings out a bowling bag. He hits Kane in the ribs with it, and we find out that it's actually a bowling ball, which I thought it was going to be head, but because obviously of his head gimmick, but and he does the spot where Raven's in the corner like sitting down, and he bowls the bowling ball into Raven's balls.
Yeah.
Which I think I like that spot when they do it every time because they don't do that spot a lot. So, and then
or as Taz would say, right in the yam bags.
Yep. Then Perry Saturn comes out next. And he just was there. Really didn't do much. Not Steve Blackman, sorry. Perry Saturn comes out next. He came out with Terry Reynolds, and Kid and Lawler made comments about what she was wearing, which obviously makes sense because she was kind of very slutty.
She was hot.
And then Steve Blackman comes out, and he has these, like, I don't know the chopsticks, but they're not a kendo stick, but they're some sort of stick that he uses. Not nunchucks, but I don't know what they're called. But he would use them in his hardcore matches, and he goes to town and people with those. I did like in this match.
I gotta tell you, before we say anything more, this was such a better representation for ECW in this match.
Yeah.
Prior to the, because 2007 was shit. I'm gonna say that right now. You had Van Dam, and you had who else?
We said CM Punk. He looked good.
Yeah, that was it. This Rumble, you had Raven, Al Snow, fucking. Who else was a part of the ECW? Perry Saturn, even though he didn't really do much, and it was like everybody was just using weapons, and it was like it actually felt like ECW was in the Rumble, and I was like, the fuck, talk about how times changed.
And everyone would try to work together to get Kane out of the match. I did like that Raven and Al Snow worked together because obviously Kane's a much bigger priority than your feud, because it's freaking Kane. And next was Grandmaster Sexay, which is kind of sad because of what we know happened to him, but
yeah.
And at some point, somebody uses nunchucks. I think it was Grandmaster Sexay, but I might be wrong about that. And eventually, Kane just freaking...
Oh, yeah, this was the start of Grandmaster Sexay and Stephen Blackman's short team. I forgot about this.
Yeah. And Kane just cleans house in this match. Like, he dominated this match. Like, he hits Steve Blackman off the head with a trash can lid and eliminates him. He just eliminates pretty much the entire, hardcore division. He cleaned house. and eliminates everybody using all the weapons and stuff. I did like this bit in the Royal Rumble because, obviously it made the Royal Rumble very fun. I wish we got more stuff like that where the hardcore division just like went waylaid with everybody with weapons. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was fun.
Just like Kane just like eliminate everyone that was in the ring was just gone by Kane. Like he was eliminated.
Which, by the way, WWE, be consistent with your fucking rules. If it's no DQ, let it be no DQ. Goddammit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
And then you had the next entrant. It was the Honky Tonk Man, who was a surprise entrant. This was fun. He comes out and performs his theme song, and Kane just waylays him right off the head with his guitar. And it eliminates the Honky Tonk Man. That was awesome.
Jeff Jarrett threw 1,000 guitars, never drew a dime. Kane throws one, and it's a rumble moment to last an eternity.
I wish though if the Honky Tonk Man came out today too, he would get a huge pop too.
Oh yeah.
And then you had number 13. It was The Rock. Kane pretty much just like destroys The Rock in the beginning of this match. Like, yeah. Then the number 14 was the Good Father. You gotta remember to say that. I can't say the Godfather.
Good Father.
Yeah. The Rock just eliminates him right away like a jabroni. That was awesome. I know Like Barry's the Good Father, but I hated that like the sense of gimmick, so that deserved to get buried. I don't even care.
Yeah, it did. It did. The only thing is, I just wish they kind of played up on their history together in the nation.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Because you could have had him in there for a little bit before The Rock eliminated him. You know what I mean? Like, the Good Father's trying to get one against The Rock for turning his back on the nation all those years ago or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. And then you have a sad number. Number 15 was Taz, and he just runs in the ring and gets eliminated pretty much right. He
on the top rope.
Yeah. And he gets no offense at all in this match. Like, I don't think he did it. He just gets picked up by Kane and eliminated. So.
Yep.
But I think Taz, I'm guessing his neck injuries weren't getting any better. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even think they had anything to do with it, because didn't Taz, I remember he had a short run with the tag team titles not long after this too, so.
Spike Dudley of all people.
Yeah. So I don't know. But it was just a waste.
Yeah.
It just showed how bad they dropped the ball with Taz, because a year ago he debuted beating Kurt Angle and.
Dude, if you were going to do a tag team for Taz, it would have been with Kurt Angle. It had to have been with Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. Kurt Angle and Taz just tearing the tag team division apart.
Oh, that'd been awesome, yeah. Then you had number 16, Bradshaw, and he looked pretty strong in this match. He took the Rock's head off with a clothesline. I thought the Rock's head was literally going to come off his shoulders. Not really, yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 17 was Albert. Number 18 was Hardcore Holly. So Hardcore Holly was in this Rumble too, and I didn't care. I didn't care in 2007 Rumble. I didn't care in this Rumble either. So yeah, number 19 was K Quick. He would just debuted, I think, into the company. He got rowdy too.
We all know what the most memorable Hardcore Holly moment was. And that was when he got suplexed, he suplexed Van Dam through a table, sliced his back on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, admittedly, was pretty fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
I give him all the props for that to continue with that deep-ass cut in his back. Yeah. That was crazy.
Well, and Spark Plug Bob Harley, too. We remember him for that, too. Mm-hmm. We don't want to remember him for that, but I do, so. But yeah, number 19 is K Quick. Number 20 is Val Venus. Like we said,
dude, did you see R-Truth's eyes when he came out in this? Like, he was so drugged up.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my God.
Number 21 was European champion William Regal, who was eliminated by Test, which made sense because I think that set up Test. They should have just booked a European title match over that women's match we saw. So, Number 22 was Test, who didn't get himself counted out in this match, so that's good. I'm proud of him.
Yeah,
number 23 was the returning Big Show. Number 24 was Crash Holly.
Did you see how hyped though Big Show was?
Yeah.
Like, he was super lean, man. Like, holy crap, he was lean here.
And guess what though? He turned face, I think, in this match and was a heel when after he was eliminated. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's classic Big Show right there.
Oh, yeah.
Big Show just like went to town too. He eliminates Test. He eliminates K Quick out. No, but he eliminates.
Hey, you know what? Big Show had a pretty decent run in 2001 just because of that hardcore title match, Triple Threat.
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty decent run just for that alone.
Then
he was on the biggest show of the year, so he was the biggest show of all time.
Yeah. But then eventually the Big Show gets eliminated by The Rock, and there was no controversy that time either because he actually legitimately eliminated him. So Big Show gets mad, choke slams The Rock through a table, and The Rock's just out of it for a while. So the Big Show went from face back to a heel. Great stuff. Classic Big Show right there.
Classic.
Number 24 was Crash Holly. Number 25 was The Undertaker. Now, normally I would be happy to see The Undertaker. Not in this match, because he wasn't the dead man. He was American Badass. So I had to see that crappy gimmick. So that's why this match, I'd knock it down.
Why do you hate this gimmick so bad?
Because it ruined what made The Undertaker special. He was awesome as the dead man. And
I thought he was still special. I actually love The Undertaker.
What was special about him as the American Badass? It sucked.
Motorcycles.
Anybody could come up with a
motorcycles.
Chuck Palumbo came out with
a
motorcycle.
Last Ride, which was like the best fucking dude. If it wasn't for this, he would have never done The Last Ride, and you know that. I love The Last Ride. The Last Ride is amazing.
He's still cool.
Fucking elevated powerbomb is the shit.
That's the only good thing that came out of this gimmick.
I thought it was a good promo, actually. I thought he was a really good promo around this time.
But then you had
well, other than that snake boot thing.
Yeah.
That was,
then you
I
had
could have done without that, but all of his other promos were fucking solid. I really liked this. Maybe that's the reason why. Is because Limp Bizkit, Motorcycles, he was a good promo, and he had some decent matches from time to time.
His matches, I don't think as a badass were as good as when he was the dead man, though. But
I actually loved his match with Triple H at 27. I really loved this match with Triple H, or not 27, 17. I also really, you know what I really enjoyed, American Badass? 2002 when he turned heel, he had that awesome match with Van Dam, and then later on he would have that, like, he would just fucking rip into Hogan.
I love one thing. Actually, there was one I love
that triple threat match with The Rock and Angle, and then he would turn face to feud with Lesnar, and that feud was fucking great.
That feud was great.
That feud was fucking amazing. I loved every minute of that feud. I loved his like mini Big Show feud too, because the reason, Big Show injured him pretty much. I thought it lasted as long as it needed to be honest. Like, maybe that's the reason why. I had an issue with it, but it was like I never had a problem with it because I didn't
like the gimmick, and I was scared this year because he was going to come back as this gimmick, and it just. I feel like it just depends on the wrestling fan you talk to. If you watch most of his Dead Man stuff, you hate the American Badass. So
I love both. I love both versions. I can't hate the Undertaker's gimmicks. I don't know why. Like, all the gimmicks I liked.
If you would have asked me, like, I hated the American Badass, I just didn't like it. I hated?
All right, actually, no, I can't. I lied. Here's the one gimmick I hated. The theme song was badass. The faction was badass. His character was what? Ministry. Undertaker was it was so bad. I'll tell you why. He fucking crucified a woman on national TV.
That's not him, that's the book.
I know that, but oh my god, dude. Like, and then the whole higher power thing, and
that's not his fault.
It just ruined the gimmick for me. The hanging of Boss Man, it was dumb. There was so many worse moments with him as Ministry Taker than there were as American Badass Undertaker. At least you can name a lot of good moments with him as American Badass. You can't when it comes to fucking the Ministry Taker. They're either mediocre or really bad. There's no in between.
actually thinking about it, probably his matches with, as I think too, Ministry was actually his worst matches. I think too.
Yes. Yeah, because that was the point where he was out of shape. The only good match I think he had was like really prior to the Ministry, where he tossed Mankind off the cell, of course.
Well, he had to. I liked his match with the first blood match he had with Austin. You know, when
Although, in fairness, though, I think that's not really his. Yeah, that was a good, awesome match. But in fairness, I think he was also operating on a bum ankle.
yeah.
So, that's not really his fault. I think that's why he took time off before he came back as American Badass, because he had that really bad ankle injury.
But yeah, the Brothers of Destruction worked together to eliminate everybody pretty much, so they went with that storyline, and they teased like they're gonna get into it. And who is number 26? I feel bad for you, but Scotty 2 Hotty. The fear in Scotty 2 Hotty's eyes when he had to get into.
Oh my God, when Taker was out there. Real quick question before you continue though. I know this is totally off topic, but I have to ask it now. When it comes to Taker, why you remember when they did the whole Rock and Sock Connection versus Big Show Taker match? Did he leave with Paul Bearer and then not return just to come back as American Badass? Because I don't remember now. It's been so long.
I think his last match was the Buried Alive match, I believe, with Kane when him and Austin went at it for the Royal Rumble spot, I think. And no, that wasn't his last match. I feel like he was buried alive somehow, because that's typically why they do the buried alive matches, if they need to write Taker-offs. So, I have no idea, honestly. I don't even think Paul Bear was in the picture when he was gone. So, I don't, because it wasn't the first blood match when he was because I remember him having more matches. I don't remember him having a match at SummerSlam, and no, he did have he was teaming with Big Show. I think he was gone after SummerSlam because he wasn't in Unforgiven '99. I don't think so.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
I don't know. I was confused on that because they made it like after Big Show, Taker just went into the back and let Big Show defend for himself. I'm like, is that when he turned into the American Badass?
Maybe something came out of him. I don't know. But yeah, Scotty 2 Hotty, those appearance in the Rumble was awesome. Like the fear in his eyes when he had to go in there and wrestle.
Fight Taker and Kane was like, oh God.
He was out of there too really quickly too. So see you later. And then number 27 was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Disturbed theme Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's great.
Which unfortunately is cut out of the network because probably Disturbed won't let him use it. But
no, that's bullshit. Is it? It's on 17.
It wasn't in this. Go watch the Rumble on the network. It was not. They didn't use the song in this.
That's weird. That's odd. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Because
I just watched it because I found it on Dailymotion, to be honest.
He immediately gets attacked by Triple H, which made sense.
Yeah.
And this is like when Chaos starts to win.
He did the sickest blade chop.
Yeah.
Oh man, nobody can bleed like Austin.
I don't know what exactly too like he busted him open storyline wise. If it was that equipment case or if it was just Triple H.
I think it was the equipment case. Triple H just sent him face first into, and then he just busted open.
I think he hit him with it too, but we didn't get to see it on camera because because the Rock had come back into the ring and they were like going back and forth. But it eventually leads to the point where Triple H has to, be separated by referees and such. Then the one Billy Gunn comes out next. That was random.
Dude, oh my God. Did you hear his theme? Did you ever look up his theme?
I think I heard it.
Dude, it sounds like it's for a sitcom.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is not a wrestling theme. This is an intro to a sitcom theme.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this theme?
Then you have number 29, Haku, there were 3 surprise entrances. It was Honky Tonk Man, Big Show, and Haku. Haku was a cool surprise. cool surprise. I thought that was cool.
Well, Big Show was a really cool surprise too.
Yeah, and the Hockey Talk Man was an awesome surprise. So
yeah, they're all awesome surprise. Haku was literally the hardcore champion right when he jumped shit.
Yeah. Oh,
he won it the night before and then switched to fucking WWE.
Yeah. The quick question too, was this the first year they did surprise entrances at a Royal Rumble?
I believe so. It might have been. I think it was.
Because if this is, we'll talk about that. I'm glad the WWE has kept with that tradition because it makes the Rumble a lot of fun to watch.
Mm.
And I bet back then too, like even though internet still was a thing because no DQ, started in '98.
Well, actually, no. I think it was 2000 actually because Bob Backlund.
Oh, right.
Bob Backlund was the first. I think was the first real surprise entrant.
So we won't talk. I mean, but they do it a lot more now because like every year you get it because I know they didn't do it every year. Like this, I know they didn't do it like one year, but I think the surprise entrances is still pretty. I think they do it more now because they have more ways to do it with NXT, NXT UK. It'd be kind of cool though. I know they're not going to do this. I'll just talk about this. If they could like bring someone in, I know because contracts are like a bitch and stuff. If they could bring someone in for like one night from like New Japan. And then, obviously you don't have to push them or anything. You can just have them go back to New Japan. Like, it'd be cool to see a New Japan guy or, like, an ROH guy or something. Like, show up for one night at the Rumble and,
Well, I mean, they did that with Jushin Thunder Liger.
I'm just saying more so nowadays, too. Like, no, I'm saying in the Royal Rumble, too.
They won't do it.
Yeah.
They won't do it.
If they were going to do that, Omega definitely would be the guy they would try to get to as like a one-off appearance in the Rumble too.
Yeah.
But Haku, I thought was a cool, that was a cool surprise.
Hey, no, what was the greatest surprise was the 1997 Royal Rumble. Mel Mascaras diving off the top rope because he's not going to jump to nobody.
Yep. That's still reference to this day too.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Rikishi was number 30. He got to come out number 30 because he won a fatal 4-way match on SmackDown or something, so he got to come out number 30. Which I hate that they give away number 30 because it ruins the excitement, so that's why I'm kind of pissed they did that this year.
I like the whole deal that they had Haku and Rikishi team up. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
But it was obviously, too, like a really bad time in Rikishi's career because this was like when he was doing that terrible heel run that, and he turned heel right when he was over as a face and was just...
Mm-hmm.
You could kind of see, I think I wonder if, like, in 2000, the WWF... I think the WWF kind of started to do what they want, like, because they knew they were winning the war in the end, if you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah, they pretty much just like, yeah, we can do what we want. This is why I hate it, because it's like, oh my god, like, when they were trying, they were the best.
Yeah.
And then they were slowly, like, not trying anymore.
They were still trying, like, there was still effort, but you could slowly see that, like, they were making, like, decisions that you would scratch your head. I think they slowly knew they were going to win this. They were winning the war. So, but yeah, so we had like the final 6. I believe it was, well, Rikishi eliminates the Undertaker, which I don't like that at all. That was really stupid.
They were trying to make him strong.
Yeah,
that's all they were trying to do.
That was not. I know it's just not. I know I'm an Undertaker guy, but it was just not believable at all that it was Rikishi that eliminated the Undertaker. So,
yeah, very true. Yeah.
I think the final 6 was like Rikishi. Oh, and also I forgot to mention when Rikishi was coming down to the ring, Austin was making his way towards it. And he tries to attack Austin, thinking that Austin's gonna be all weak. But Austin, he ain't going down without a fight like that. So, like, that was a mistake.
Yeah, right.
I think the final 6 was Billy Gunn, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Kane, and I think it was Haiku, but I don't exactly remember.
Well, that's the final 5.
I think.
Fuck it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Get to Kane's biggest elimination.
So, well then, Austin eliminates Rikishi or The Rock. I don't remember. And then Austin eliminates Billy Gunn.
Yeah, that was quick.
And then we had the final 3. It was Austin, The Rock, and Kane. And they go at it. It was really cool to see Austin and The Rock go at it because that was, even though like they had a match before, that was kind of like a dream match because this was when The Rock like was had just like reached the level, almost the level of like Austin, because when they had a match, at
No,
WrestleMania.
it wasn't even almost. Everyone says almost. He was at the level of Austin. These were the two biggest stars of all time
Yeah,
in the same time period.
that was cool. You got to see them go at it. Austin lays him out with a stunner, but then Rock laid him out later on with the Rock bottom. But then when they want to eliminate each other, Kane eliminates the Rock. That was a awesome elimination for Kane. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And the final two is Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kane. And I did like how like they utilized the rule a lot, where you go underneath the ring, well, like through the middle rope and stuff, because they don't typically do that. Like Kane would go through the middle rope if he wanted to get a weapon or something, and he grabs a chair, he hits Austin with it, he choke slams him, but then Austin fights back. He hits a stunner, hits Kane off the head with the chair 3 times, and he eliminates Kane. And Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the Royal Rumble. But obviously, this match is significant too, because this is when Kane had set the record until 2014 of the most guys eliminated in a single Royal Rumble match. I believe Kane still holds the record for like the most guys eliminated overall.
Most guys eliminated of all time, yeah. Rumble matches.
And I kind of wish Kane had won the Rumble, but then again, thinking about it, you're not going to build, no offense to Kane, but you're not going to build a WrestleMania main event around Kane. Like, that just wouldn't really sell as a
No, he was more of like he was better in the sideshow match for the hardcore title.
Yeah, and I thought, well, it really built up Austin too to win the match. This was, the first time somebody, and the only time somebody had won 3 Royal Rumble matches. I expect that to get broken at some point, but I don't know who could break it.
Who's 1, 2?
Cena, but now he's not. I guess apparently now he's not going to be in the Rumble, because I just got a notification.
Yeah. I literally got that he's injured apparently.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if they just don't want. I don't know if that's a work or not though, because it's from WWE. Then I'd imagine, because if he was hurt, they wouldn't have advertised him for the Rumble. I think he must have some Hollywood thing coming up or something. So, but maybe he is. Maybe he is.
You know what it is? It's probably going to be Orton. I could see Orton doing it.
Yeah.
Because he's already won 2.
Yeah.
He's already won 2. And you know what? It would make sense because then, you could have Styles win back the title at Elimination Chamber and then do a Orton Styles feud. Because as much as I love the new Daniel Bryan, I think that Daniel Bryan could have a much better feud as this gimmick with a guy like Jeff Hardy.
I agree with that, yeah.
I would love to see a match
still...
with those two. Just a regular match. Doesn't even need to be for the title. I think that would be a much better match.
I think it's too early to take the title off Bryan. I like the new Daniel Bryan.
Well, I mean, you can always give it back to him. It's just, I think that Styles and Orton for the championship should honestly be on the card. That's my thought, anyway. Yeah.
But obviously, this match, though, set up Austin versus The Rock quite nicely. This Royal Rumble match set up a lot of things. It set up Austin versus Triple H at No Way Out in the 3 Stages of Hell match, which...
Then Austin and The Rock at 17. Then also, it would set up later Triple H and The Undertaker because he hadn't beaten him.
Yeah. Well, it also set up, because The Rock would win the title from Kurt Angle at No Way Out, so that way he could be the champion. Going into WrestleMania, that probably is still, one of, the most hyped-up main event matches at WrestleMania is Austin versus The Rock, with the promos they were cutting at the time. It probably is a hyped-up main event, obviously, because that probably... I would say that distinction probably still goes to Hogan and Andre with how much they hyped that match up.
No, it was so much better than Hogan and Andre. It's not even close. This is the best feud of all time in pro wrestling history. There's nothing that will ever top this. Nothing that is going to top this.
Austin versus Vince, I think that tops it. So
I was more invested in The Rock and Austin because I knew you were going to get more matches with The Rock and Austin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You knew you weren't going to get that many matches with Vince and Austin. Yes, it was a feud. It was a long-term feud. It lasted for a fucking century. But it's the second best of all time, in my opinion. I think if you're going to, you can't really count that feud as being over The Rock and Austin. You just can't. You just can't. It's too good.
Especially, too, I even love that one segment I love is that backstage segment they do with JR with that interview, just how intense that was with them.
Yeah. Dude, think about it like this, too. Those two, that feud stretches all the way back to 1997 when they were feuding for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, that's
That's
definitely
how
true.
far back that feud goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they fought for the Intercontinental title, the WWF title, and then they just fought for fucking pride at the end.
Yeah.
Like, this feud lasted from 97 to 03. This
Yeah.
lasted way longer than the Vince and Austin feud. Like, yeah, it was on and off, but it's still, I think, better. It's the best long-term feud. They even fought in the winner-take-all match. Like,
Yeah,
these
exactly.
guys were the cornerstones of every big storyline going on. These were the two main guys every time, and it built to that match somehow, some way. You
And
know?
yeah. But yeah, but I gave this Rumble match 4 stars. It is a great Rumble. I don't think it's as great as a lot of people say it is. It is a very fun Rumble. I think
Yeah,
it
it's very fun.
I think it gets like I think like it kind of drags like towards when
Towards the end, I feel like now that you say it, yeah, it probably does drag.
with like
Um,
yeah.
I need to find a better Rumble because I thought, you know what, the best Rumble might be. I thought it was 2001, but it might be 2000.
Well,
2000 might have been better
you don't get the
because
next you don't get the next pick and it can't be
no, I know. I'm just saying, like, I probably should have picked 2000 because that was the awesome street fight, and obviously
yeah.
the controversial finish with The Rock and Big Show was really cool.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah,
like, that was all really, really dope.
as
And
for where
also that tables match with the Dudleys and the Hardys.
yeah. But as for where everybody is today, we forgot to break down where everybody is in the WWF title match. Kurt
Oh, who
Angle,
gives a shit? We're not doing that. Like, there's so many guys in this match. Well, you know what? We'll break down the final four. Billy Gunn,
all elite wrestling, right?
yeah, probably.
Um, Stone Cold, we already kind of said, and you pretty much broke that down, and he still
Yeah,
makes
Stone Cold. Stone Cold runs the Stone Cold podcast, and that's the bottom line.
and he
Yeah.
had his last match at WrestleMania 19 against, ironically, The Rock.
Yeah,
Mm.
that was great.
The Rock,
Honestly, I wouldn't even. Honestly, like the only time I would have had him come out of retirement was to fight Punk. But now that he's gone, I would just stay in retirement. That's the best ending you could have had
yeah,
for retirement. Honestly.
don't ruin it. Like you already ruined Shawn Michaels' retirement, kind of. So,
Mm. I
the Undertaker.
guarantee. Yeah, you know what? I guarantee you they're gonna give Austin a super duper sum to appear at a fucking Saudi event because fuck integrity in the fucking business anymore.
Yeah, the Undertaker is still wrestling. He would,
He shouldn't.
yeah, but he still is. Actually, maybe not though, because there is reports he's going to be getting. If he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, he's not wrestling. So I
No,
think
he
it's
is. He is.
um,
He is. Absolutely is. WrestleMania and another Saudi show is going to be wrestling, and I'm calling it now.
yeah.
He's going to come back. He's going to wrestle more, even as a Hall of Famer, and it's so stupid. It's so dumb.
But he would develop. I mean, he already had it, but they pretty much went with the undefeated streak right after WrestleMania 17. Because they didn't market it right away as an undefeated streak, and obviously probably the
It was
best.
the first time it got mentioned. 8-0.
Yeah.
But anyway, yep. And
Rikishi,
then The Rock is the biggest paid actor in Hollywood and like of all time right now. So there you go.
Kurt Angle is the Raw GM. He would obviously have a great one in WWE and TNA. Trish Stratus, ironically enough, became like the best women's wrestler of all time, possibly.
And now a yoga instructor.
Stephanie McMahon is pretty much in the exact same position. I did want to ask a question. Why does it seem like Stephanie McMahon's voice is different on this show than it is in real life? Like, why is that? Because your voice is more like high pitch.
Fuck if I know, man. Fuck if I know.
Like, was it Kane would win the hardcore title, and then obviously he's
mayor. He's mayor of Knoxville County now, Tennessee.
We'll do a quick thing. Let's see if you can name where everybody is. We know Jeff Hardy's still wrestling. He hasn't stopped. He he's gone from WWE to TNA to ROH to back to WWE. Let's see if Matt Hardy is unfortunately he might actually still be able to wrestle. There's still hope for him. So
yeah.
whoever would have thought too back then that Matt Hardy would have developed the Woken gimmick? I don't think anyone would have ever guessed that.
No, nobody would have ever.
Where's Farouk? Can you name where Farouk is today?
No, I mean he's probably just chilling.
He's just chilling.
Yeah.
What about Drew Carey?
Chilling.
Hall of Fame. He's inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Fuck that. That's so dumb. Don't even. Next.
Raven. Where's Raven?
Poor guy. Doing specials on the network about ECW. Other than that, chilling probably. Oh yeah, he hosts a show on Busted Open Radio though.
Didn't he recently just make an appearance at Impact?
He might have probably. Yeah.
Is Al Snow still at Impact?
No, he works for WWE again. I think.
Perry Satin, you know who he is?
Nope.
We should look it up, but we're not gonna. Steve Blackman, you know where he is?
Me and Steve Blackman.
That's the best part. We're not saying what Grandmaster Sexy is. We're not saying where he is. So.
Yeah, we know where he is. Sad face.
The Honky Tonk Man's chilling.
Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah, I should have researched this.
He's just a honky tonk man.
The Good Father, thank God, went back to the Godfather not long after this. So
yeah.
We know what Taz is. We already said.
With one Z, one Z or two.
We know what Bradshaw is.
Yeah, he's trying to repair his reputation by doing charity for kids because he realizes, wow, I've been an asshole all this time. No shit.
Whoever would have thought he would have became JBL?
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have thought that.
You know what, Albert's in the Performance Center. He's the head trainer.
Yep.
Hardcore Holly, where's he? You know what he is? I know what you're gonna say.
He's hardcore.
I thought you were gonna say he's chilling, but
he's hardcore.
K Quick is still wrestling. K Quick is still wrestling.
Yeah. Very limitedly, but he's still wrestling and doing dance breaks.
Yeah. He's number 30 this year too.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh my God, I forgot he's 30 in the Rumble. Oh my God.
You hate that.
Oh my God, he's gonna come out in the Rumble women's. I guarantee it.
I think that would be. Yeah, man, that would be awesome if he does.
That'd be funny, but oh my God. Help me.
I wish he comes out. He should come out as the one number this year. Like come out as like one by accident.
Have they ever done the skits with Carmella and him at Stanford?
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Alright, I gotta go and look those up. Those are probably funny as hell.
You know what William Weagle is? He's like the head talent scout for like Signees or something, and he's the general manager.
Yeah, he's great.
We know what Test is. We don't need to say what Test is.
He's dead. Sad.
Big Show's still there. He's not wrestling right now, but he's still there.
Yeah, he's still
Crash
there.
Holly, you know what he is?
Well, he's actually dead too.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died in 03, I think.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but
I have no idea, honestly, but I know he's dead, so sad face. He was funny.
Except me. I stopped laughing. I think because I expected to say chilling, that's why.
No, he's legit dead.
We're bad people for laughing, too.
No, it's because you're laughing because it's like, oh, I did not expect him to be dead, too.
Yeah.
Haiku. Anyway.
Where's Haiku?
He's actually, I think, dead.
Oh, let's check.
Is he dead? No, he might still be alive.
No, he's still alive.
No, I'm just going to say he's chilling until somebody corrects.
It says he's in New Japan.
Oh, is he? Okay, then never mind. He's chilling.
It says New Japan Pro Wrestling.
He's chilling in New Japan. Probably training the Young Lions or something.
Probably. All right, well, that's pretty much the end of this Retro Wrestling Review series. We got to be better about saying where everybody is because we did really bad this time.
Hey, listen, everybody's chilling, okay? Just let them chill. Let them do them.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're going to say what the next pick is. And Chris Dodd gets the next pick. And we're going to do that Wednesday. So Chris Dodd picked the Royal Rumble from 2005. And I think you know why he picked
that. This is an awesome Rumble. Other than the Daniel Puder one. But this was actually a really good Rumble.
Yeah, and obviously I think he picked it for the ending, obviously. So.
Of course he did.
Yeah, we have to try to have. I mean, you have. I'm guessing you're coming. You're gonna try to come on for that one too, aren't you?
What time are you guys having it? Because Wednesday I start school again.
I think we're gonna do it Wednesday at 6:30.
6:30? Yeah, I'll be.
Because I need to. Because I need to fit time to watch NXT so I can be on the predictions video for No DQ. So.
Oh yeah, same. I gotta do that too.
They're trying to ask you if you're gonna be on it, and you haven't answered them. So.
Oh, have I not answered them? Let me answer them.
Let me
oh
check.
My lord. Let me just get back to them. That you told me that.
Did you know him in the group chat now too?
Yeah, I told him.
Oh, you told him they had me?
Hey. Well, sorry. Yeah, I'll be on. Let me tell him how I found this out. Owen literally just told me.
But as we're on video.
Sorry. Stressful football game last night got my schedule all fucked up.
It won't be on Wednesday.
Yeah, no. Okay.
I'm glad it's Wednesday too because that would because I have to go to school the next day too. So it's like.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Wait, you go to school Thursdays?
No, Fridays.
Ah.
Because I'm gonna do it. They were originally gonna do it Thursday at like 11:30, but they changed their minds. But anyhow, yeah. So the Royal Rumble 2005 will be the next one. We're gonna record it at 6:30, and it'll probably be up by 9 o'clock, probably.
Yeah, probably. You'll see that. You guys will see that.
But yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. Is there anything else Royal Rumble 2001 we got to talk about? Oh, we didn't even grade the show. We forgot to grade the show.
Oh yeah. I'll give it an A-.
Okay.
A-. I thought it was the best show, but I was wrong looking back on it. But it was still a really entertaining show. Other than that really bad match with China and Ivory, this is a really entertaining show.
So I need to remember, what did I give Royal Rumble 2007? I think I gave it a B+. I think this is still a great show, B+, but I still think the Royal Rumble 2007 is better, just because I think the Rumble match is better. I think the final two, even though I like Kane and stuff, I think
I would have thought you would have rated this lower because of that one bad match, but
I was thinking about going a B, but the Rumble match is good. Actually, I think I am going to go with a B. I think it's a really good show. I think my issues with it is that the WWF title match, while it's good, the storyline's just so off that it doesn't complement the wrestlers. The Rumble match kind of drags at the end, and then you have that crappy women's match, and then you have that. I'm sorry, and then you obviously have that crappy. Even though it's on Sunday Night Heat, you have to. It still pissed me off that crappy Kai and Tai lowdown match too.
Yeah, true.
And then the crappy Drew Carey appearances, except the Rumble match, and obviously.
And the Kane backstage segment.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with B. It's a really good show, but not quite a B+. If the WWF title match had been better, it would have been a B+.
Probably. Fair enough.
But yeah, so that's
so
overall, I think
A-.
I think overall between the two of us, though, I think it's a B. If
it's still a B+, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this. You want to do your plugs?
Yeah, plugs. All the plugs. You guys can check me out on youtube.com/JHebertside95. Or should I say /user/JHebertside95. You can also check me out on Twitter @JHebertside95. I didn't say my... Hold on. Let me redo this. Fuck it.
I messed it up, though, because I always wonder how you do it without messing it up. At least you finally messed it up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, it's because I'm tired a little bit still. You guys can follow me on YouTube on youtube.com/user/JHebertside95. You can also follow me on Twitter @JHebertside95. That's JHEBERTSIDE95. You can also check out my CAW wrestling promotion, Weymouth Youth Wrestling. We will be hosting Immortal on May 3rd on 5 different streaming platforms, 2 YouTube channels, Mixer, Twitch, and Periscope. So
wait, I thought it was March. I thought it was March 3rd, not May.
Did I say May 3rd? March
Yeah, you
3rd. Dumb shit. March 3rd is when we're having the event, not May 3rd. March 3rd. They both start with M. That's probably why I did that. But still, March 3rd, we will be having Immortal on all 5 of those streaming platforms. Make sure you check it out. But for now, I will promote just the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. There you go.
All right, make sure you check me out at Owen the Talking to You and CM Brothers. Subscribe to both those channels and click on the bell so that way you can be notified every time I upload a video, as well as James. Do it for James's channels too, and then you can be annoyed without, notifications.
Yes.
And also check out the Wrestling Fortune 44. The Retro Wrestling Review Series is going to be Wednesday, taped at 6:30, up at 9, hopefully. And then obviously the rundown will be up. I don't know when it's going to be taped. It's going to be some point. It's going to be at some point Friday. I think it's going to be in the afternoon because I'm going to the movies Friday night. So
yeah, fair enough.
So if you can't be on Friday afternoon, then
I'll probably be back from school by 4.
Yeah, you won't be able to be on, I don't think. But
yeah. Well.
So that's. I mean, a lot of it's going to be main roster talk. There was going to be
So I'm fine with missing that.
Yeah, I mean, you missed like doing the predictions for Takeover, but if Chris hosts Takeover, you would be able to just do the live reactions for it. But I will say, James, I want you to keep an eye on my channel for like the next 3 weeks because there's going to be a surprise for you on this channel. Nothing bad, but I just keep an eye on it the next 3 weeks. So
wait, surprise? What?
Yeah, it's gonna be a good surprise. I want it to be a surprise, but yeah.
Okay.
Just keep an eye on it the next 3 weeks. So,
okay.
I also need to know though. I'm gonna plug this because I just saw this video yesterday. You might know when I plug the channel, you'll know the video I saw. What's Casey's YouTube channel name?
Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, check out Luke Lynch. I don't know his YouTube user, but it's look up Luke Lynch.
Yeah.
He posted a video called it was a WYW screening video actually.
That's not the video I'm talking about. There's a video where called I think Altercation at the Park, not for kids. I need to know about.
Oh my god!
I can't believe I found that video.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's right.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out.
Oh yeah, guys, you want some comedic gold? Just watch that. That's hilarious.
It's like
hilarious.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the end of this video, and we'll talk to you guys on. Well, I'll probably talk to you before Wednesday, but me and James and Chris will talk to you guys Wednesday. So because I gotta watch Raw. So
yeah.